Hi, my name is Irwin Gould. My website is also www.irwingould.com. I publish 3 books, and I'm here on Yaya Diamond Show to talk about my books.
Yaya Diamonds, dream chasers, we won't wait. Subscribe today before it's too late. Inspiration flowing just like the breeze. Chase your dreams and feel at ease.
Be good. Be very good.
I am so excited. Okay, so I had this thing I can I know this person. I know I know that I know this person. So I want to first of all, I know. I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio. My name is Yaya Diamond. I am your host. We have real people, real dreams, and real successes right here on Dream Chasers Radio, where we inspire you to go after your dreams, your goals, and your visions, and to go with all the gusto that you have, bringing people on to show you how they have done it so it can inspire you to do it as well. It's not impossible. It's just a journey and you can go on it. You could do this. But my next guest, oh my gosh, yes. So my husband was in Bad Boys 2, also Transporter 2 back in the day. And I knew Irwin. I was like, I know this guy. He was in those movies too. Hi, Irwin. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. I'm doing amazing.
Hey. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you again. It's been so many years.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you were doing so good. Okay, so
Yes.
let's go back. When did you know that you had to write these books? And because I know you're acting, I know you do the modeling, I know you do all that. So, we don't need to go all the way back,
Right.
but
Right.
we do need to go forward. It's been a minute. Fill me in. Fill me in.
Yes. So the writing, the author start. I became an author within the past year and a half, going on 2 years. I start writing books, but
Hmm.
this journey begins through one of my customers. I have an auto detailing, car wash, pressure cleaning business. I've been doing this here for the past 28 years. That's book two. But
Hmm.
the author, look how funny things is. God works in mysterious way. It's
Yeah.
a customer down in Biscayne, right in front of Miami Heat Arena, in the condominium there on the 8th or 10th floor.
Hmm.
She had scheduled out a car detailing. I go there, and it was a referral customer. So I knew it was a customer from a friend that referred me. I
Hmm.
start cleaning the car, and I finish. I detail, I pressure clean, and they came and they paid and they drove off like 5 feet or 10 feet and they blow their horn. They call me back over and listen, they tip me again, right? And I'm
Mm.
telling you what happened. So I was like, thank you, but why you tip me again? They was like, my car have never been this clean like this before. So while I specialize in steam cleaning, the only other company in South Florida that they refer me to is Stanley Steamer, right? So she
Mm.
tips me again, and then as she's leaving, because I had a number, I said, thank you for the second tip. Thank you for using my service. And she replied back with all her information. She is a bestseller. She's a realtor in South Beach, right in Biscayne. So I replied back, wait, you are an author for bestseller? And she was like, yes. I said, listen, I have a website I had for the past 18 years or give or take, right? And I had my biography there and I was thinking about turning it into a book. And she said, send me your website. I'll go over it over the weekend and I'll let you know on Monday. And so said, so done. Monday, she texts me like, Irwin, you have a book, and here's my publisher, which is Reader's Magnet, and it's been a domino effect since then. But
Wow.
yeah, thank God that my work ethic and referral customers, word of mouth, it's like one of your best advertisement because
Mhm.
they will you if I didn't have the strong hard work ethic, go there, do a great job, that you allow her to tip you again without even you was expecting a second tip. It started a domino effect because the communication started, and I replied back, "Thank you so much, I appreciate it," and then here all her information. And I
Mm.
never thought, even when I called Reader's Magnet to start to write on book one, never did I see that it would become a series. Would I be multi-task? Well, cataloging and have more than one book. As far the only as far as I see that I wanted to accomplish was book one, wrote about I've been a model, I've been in the entertainment business, I've been doing commercial, I've been doing print work, and one day I'm casting for an Aerosmith video, and Michael Bay came out and saw me. He was like, "Hey, you here for Bad Boys too?" And I'm like, "No, I'm here for Aerosmith video." And he was like, "Listen, I think you should cast for Bad Boys too," and I thank God I did.
Mm.
And I took advantage of all the opportunity that came my way because, as you know, now that I know who Yaya Diamond is, because my publisher then set up these interview, right? And I'm like, I didn't know. And then finally, with your husband, we just happened to work on the same movies, and these principal blockbuster movie came along. And
Yeah.
yes, and some listen, and your husband could probably vouch for what I'm about to say because I knew some other colleagues that passed up some of these jobs because they say that it wasn't paying enough. They wanted
Right.
more, right? You know, right? And here it is. I because what happened is I went to school for business management. I picked up acting class, workshop. I started doing modeling on the side because I grew up in New York, right? But then
Mhm.
it became a journey became out of it that you never was expecting along the way. So your husband and I, we had these opportunities, and one or two other colleagues of ours didn't take those parts because they wasn't paying a lot. And
Yeah.
I thank God that I took every opportunity, every movie that came my way, because I knew that at that point we was really young. This is taking it back over 20 something years ago, you know. And sometimes you don't see the big opportunity, um, or or the marathon, the long in jeopardy. I could benefit from being in a classic movie like that.
Yeah.
That now today, now you could put it back in alignment and benefit from it, right? And
Mhm.
start writing books about it. Your experience working on a movie set, your experience working around actors and stars, and you could start your own um, like legacy, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, so it's been a really excited journey that I never did. I thought I'd be here today, um, or publish three books, you know, and then I have my upcoming fourth book, and I think,
Wow.
yeah, I think I'll continue because now that I see the long dream or the long opportunity that God is blessing me now, that I was like, oh, I'm all in, God. I see it clearly, you know,
Ah,
because, right, because this is what we want, you know. We
yeah.
do some right. We do something like this because sometimes it happens in the beginning, right? Right when you're doing the middle of the movie, you know, a bigger opportunity comes, you know, but sometimes it comes later on that same journey, just that if you stay on that same path, you know, some guys that wasn't able to stay on that same path, meaning the acting as an actor or actress, because life reality kicks in. Some people, they have family, you know, they have mouth to feed. I ran into another actor on Bad Boys 2 that he's a police officer, right? I am at an auction picking up a car over in Hollywood, and he's one of the sheriffs there, and we recognize each other. We was in Bad Boys 2, right? And he's like, right. And then he's like, Irwin, man, I got mouth to feed. I got a family. I got kids. I had to take a job. and I respect him. I respect him as a police officer. And he
Mhm.
asked me, "What am I doing?" And then I'm like, "Yo, I'm still on the same path. I'm still on the same journey. I'm still able to pursue the acting thing, right? Plus, I start writing book." And he's like amazed, right? But then I said this, and I see the whole picture, right? If 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 I didn't have my small auto detailing car wash that allows me to schedule out my own appointment,
Yeah.
that's the key. That's the key. It you see what happens in working in a 9 to 5, you don't have that flexibility to go on casting and to pursue that. The, because after a while, if you have to go in a cast and you got to work, your manager will expect you to come to work. Because that's what happened with Bad Boys 2, which was the first movie. I was working in the medical field, and you notice it because your husband, yes.
Yeah, I
So
remember
you
that.
right. So I'm this is behind the scene information that you shared.
Yeah.
And right when they say it, it happened to me. You book a 3 months contract with Bad Boys 2. You couldn't do no other movies. Now I had to let my job knew, but they knew this all along. But I worked in the health field. I always used to do it on the side. I did videos. I did commercial. Not until you see a highlight when you got a movie break, and then your manager was shocked. But then they still allow you to go ahead and do it. And after the 2.5 months, they gave me an option. I had to either choose. They called me into a meeting. I used to go on the movie set behind the scene. I leave and I'll go straight to my job. This is behind the scene. You don't know. I used to go back to my job, make
Wow.
sure all the paperwork, because I was the supervisor. I had like 9 employees under me, and I will check the paperwork and make sure everything was done to make sure I try to keep that balance, right? To go through with this whole break. But when I look at the whole picture, things happened the way how it did because my manager gave me an ultimatum. So I said I'm gonna finish the movie, which I did. But I had the car wash. You see, I went on the movie set with my green van, right? And Michael Bay said that our first day of training, your husband was there too. He was like, "Before we start training, which one of you guys are out there with that business van?" And I was like, "It's me." And he was like, "So you had something before, and it was only two of us. I had the car wash, the auto detailing, pressure cleaning, and your husband had the karate class,
Mhm.
and he
Yeah,
was the
and
only
while you guys were on set, because I remember you guys had to leave to go on set for a little while, and you
yes,
guys went on location, I was teaching the karate classes.
yes." Yes, you guys were, and I remember that.
Mhm.
And this
Yeah.
is over 20 something years, and here it is now. I'm back in alignment with you guys. Surprisingly, because I didn't know, I knew my interview today was with Yaya Diamond and never made the alignment and the connection until now. And then you recognized me, Yaya, but you didn't say, yeah, see, and just to right, and I didn't know, and it kept me on the edge, so nervous, man, until I was like, no way, I
Yeah.
recognize
I said, babe, you know this guy. He was in Bad Boys 2 with you and Transporter 2. I remember the two movies.
you.
And I was
Wow.
like, no way. I said, I knew him. I knew I knew him.
Yes, God
That
is
is
good.
so good. That is so good. So let me ask you, getting back to the interview, because that's what we got to do. Because I mean, going down memory lane, now we can continue, continue to stay
Yes.
connected. But when you think about it, how do you balance your writing and your business?
Yes. So this is how I do it, right? Because that's a great question. Some of my customers ask me that, like, "Hey, how do you find time to write?" Oh, now you're writing more than one book. And here's how I put a balance in doing my book um, process. Okay, I after my day of working, I go to the gym, and between an hour to an hour and a half, I go into a room and I spent an hour and a half writing. Everyone have a formula of writing their books. Okay,
Mhm.
some people write straight pen to paper. Some people have a typewriter. They like the clicking sounds. What I do, I record my pages. So I know what my title is. So what I will do, I will spend an hour and a half each day recording my pages, and
Mm-hmm.
but that will that you keep that routine because you went to the first process from book one, and so then you just continue doing it for each book. So what I will do is each day an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, I will record my pages and be consistent with that for 4 to 5 months. After 4 to 5 months, you have an entire book. I have my book. And so then this is the process. So what I would do is I have a strong team behind me. So I would submit my manuscript into my team, and they will do my spell check and do my grammar check. We have to do that because when you're putting books out there, you got to be
Yeah.
mindful of that, right? So then I will submit the manuscript into my publisher, and they will add their content in which the book get fluff more, right? And then they'll send the manuscript back to me. And within that process of their adding their stuff, sometimes words could get misspelled. Not fully misspelled, but it's just like cosmetic misspell. Like for example, when I was doing book one, after I submit the manuscript into my publisher, they add their content in. The book got fluffed and they send it back to me. Thank God my team around me, she was like, don't approve it. Let me view that book first. And
Mm-hmm.
what happened? We had an extra 300 cosmetic misspelled. And then when I submitted it to my publisher, there was flaw. They were like, how, Irwin, how we got 300 misspelled, but it's cosmetic misspelled. For example, they start off by saying Michael Bay, Michael Bay, Michael Bay, and halfway through they just start saying Michael, Michael, and my team around me, because she's been a teacher over 50 years. There's too much Michael in the entertainment business. At one point, you start losing your readers, so they have to be consistent. So they had to go back and add Michael Bay, Michael Bay. You see, so it's not to say that they misspelled the word. Those are just
Right.
cosmetic. So
Yeah.
you try your best to produce a high quality book. We're not looking for perfect, but we want a good 98, 99% good quality book out there so people could enjoy. Because most people that look for book, they will love to point that out first. But then
Oh yeah.
that'll be the first thing.
It
As
will be.
we
It could be on page
Yes,
100. It's the first thing.
it's the first, right. Right. The first thing they will look
It'll be
to
the first
spell.
thing.
Right. So I
Yeah.
know that. So I know that from book one. So now that I know that they're buying book, I say, are they buying books implementing what am I saying? Or are they buying books to see if you have any misspelled words in any of those books? So either way, I'll take it because they're buying the books. But I know that going into doing this here. So it's really an exciting journey, man, and I think that I'll continue on this journey here as long as I get creative and think out of the box, and I'm able to write material. Because a lot of my books are coming now highly recommended. Listen to this, what I'm about to say. When Miami Book Fair calls you to attend their book fair, okay, and then they say out of their mouth that they compare your books to Harry Potter or 101 Dalmatian, I have to stretch my eyes to see that, because who would ever think that they're comparing your book to Harry Potter? So
Hmm.
I thank God for the creativity and thinking out of the box. But there's a few things that guide me into going into this new journey, right? CNN News and TED Talk reported. This was like in 2024, probably mid 2025. They said creativity and thinking out of the box is at an all-time low, right? So
Yeah.
when I create, right? So they say that. So when I started writing books, and then there's a few things that I put into play, right? That that allows me to just write short stories. They don't have to be winded books, and not to say those don't exist. They do exist, but for someone like me and where the economy is today, short story seems to work as long as you have something that's captivating or creative enough, that you will capture our audience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when you look at all my books, to the bottom right hand side, I have a triangle. It become my trademark, and I noticed that. So because, and you would think, so, that in time that that triangle would have been put on the cover of a book. No, it wasn't. Even back in the 1940s and the 1950s, when Bermuda Triangle was a big conversation, you think an author would have seen that and put it on the book, and it wasn't. It was missed. And because of that creativity, and I put like emoji, or I put pictures next to number one. Yeah, so I am humble to get a phone call from Miami Book Fair comparing my books to Harry Potter and 101 Dalmatian. And I'm doing this year and writing for the readers, and there seems to be liking what I'm writing. So I'm humble and thank you for the opportunity.
Definitely, definitely, definitely. I have one more question for you. There are so many people out there that want to do what you do. They want to have their own business and they want to do what they want to do. And look, I'm in your shoes, okay? I have my own business. I jump in when I want, I jump out when I want. You know what I mean? And I understand that. And it's a good place to be. What kind of advice do you give to people if they want to begin to start to get into what you're doing or what we're doing and living that life?
Yes, yes, and that's a great question too, because we will be viewed as role models because we're living in a time now that multiple stream of income, it's a must. You
Mhm.
need that. So when you have these multiple stream and all these multiple tasks or these multiple business opportunity that you have going, yes, people will look and want advice. And but I always have to bring it back to where education. So it's a space that you either will have to go back to school, you know, and probably, business management, because the economy today is very hard to start a small business.
Oh yeah.
It's harder now than before,
Yeah.
right, because life has become expensive, inflation. So that cash flow that you had to start up a business, like how I was able to, people don't have that luxury anymore. So I tell people, education, if you have a little money in the bank and you say, well, I want to, then if you go to school business management in a year, or you do a associate 2 years, within that time frame you'll figure out, oh, you'll connect it up what I want to do. You'll
Mhm.
market your advertisement, your target customers, or you will say, you know what, this is not a 9 to 5. I might be getting over my head, and this is not for me, which is good because then you'll be able to save that money, because
Mhm.
it does. Business and small business always doesn't work on the first time.
No, it doesn't.
It's, you lose, you learn from those losses, but it's to bounce back from that, you
Yeah.
know, and able to continue, because
Yeah.
I think I'm in the middle of that right now. So I thank you guys. I thank the opportunity. I think Amazon, Walmart, Barnes and Noble. Those are the platform where my books are at. Also on my website, www.irwingould.com, and download, and I appreciate the sales that I've been getting.
That is amazing. And thank you so much, Irwin, for being on the show. Man, I'm just so excited. I'm gonna text you Mordecai's number so that you have his
Yes.
number. Okay, so you guys can
Yeah.
stay connected.
Yeah. We'll
Man,
connect.
oh yeah, definitely. Man, congratulations on everything. Congratulations on the book, the modeling, the acting, all of that. I wish you nothing but the best. It is an amazing thing to see that you're still on that path and that you were able to do it. And you're right, inflation, money. It's hard. We started back in the day, so we already have it. We have it. You know what
Yes.
I mean? But some people just they can't get started, and it's
Yes. It's
sad. It
harder
really
now.
is. It really is. It really is. Well, thank you. I'm gonna have your link and the trailer is on your website so people can go and see that as well.
Yes.
So I'm gonna have your link in the description so people can find your website, but it is your name without the D. So irwingould.com. And I'm going to put that in the description, as well as any of your socials will be there as well on your website. Thank you, Irwin.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Anytime. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hey, you could do this too. This is real people, real dreams, real wins right here with Dream Chasers Radio, where we have success stories. And Irwin,
Yes.
I'm so happy for you. I'm so
Thank
happy for
you.
you. Thank you so much for being here and reconnecting with me and my husband. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It's just wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And thank you guys. Don't forget to dare to be different. Until next time, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Da, 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 da. Thank you for watching.